I know that was from you, Aaron.
It was for you,
Are we live?
Failure.
Hi.
Before we answer that question, how's everyone doing emotionally? No, sorry.
I don't want to talk about that.
I was feeling oddly fragile this morning, and then I decided that, as with most things in my life, probably just needed to drink water. I just hadn't drank water in 7 years, so...
You're like a succulent. You think you don't need it, but eventually...
You don't know how right you are,
He
Andrew.
is quite succulent.
Hard to kill, hanging out on the impulse rack at Home Depot. I know you, Jordan.
The impulse rack at Home Depot.
That is one of my haunts.
It's my favorite rack.
Nordstrom.
Are we live?
Yes.
Sure are.
This is all good shit.
Great. Hi,
Are we
chat.
alive? Are we dreaming?
What is up, everybody? This is episode 4 of Arc 4 of Better Than Heroes. We're doing
Better
it.
than Heroes.
My name is Rachel Weeks, and I play Klik, the level 10 green fighter.
I'm Ovredahl, and I play Flute, aka the Windrider, a human bard warlock.
I'm level Jordan, and I play the Moon
10.
Boy. The Moon 10. I'm Jordan Dahl, here to portray the Moon Boy, a level 10 Moon Boy.
I play Kai Hammerstein. I will not disclose my name or my level.
God damn it.
My name's Aaron, and I'm just trying to feel.
I'm Harlan Kelly. I'm the Dungeon Master of this game. I play everyone else.
Yeah, we're gonna play some 5e Spelljammer inspired Dungeons and Dragons tonight. Our show is live, soundtracked by the wonderful Jason Wardell, who you can hear on the keys. And it is live directed by Case Drury of Tiger Moon Productions. And of course, as always, it is brought to you by our wonderful patrons and subscribers. So thank you to everybody who supports the show in that way. We are so grateful to all of you. You are literally making this show possible. You are making it so we can pay Case. You are making it so, we can pay Jason. You are making it so we have access to all of the tools that make this show fun and wacky. So if you love the show and want to see us
It's like
grow,
Harlan, your mic's broken.
I was just whispering all of the tools.
Harlan drinks like an
Oh, I thought you
orangutan.
said-
Nobody's going to talk about it? Okay.
if you love the show and you want to see it grow, if you want to throw us a couple of bucks to make sure everybody gets paid, that we'd appreciate it so much. So you can do that by subscribing to our Twitch channel. You can become a patron on Patreon. You can buy some sweet merch on Teespring. March to get your merch on Spring. If that's not a possibility right now, we appreciate it. Anyway, just support the show however you can. Tell your friends about the show. Tell them to follow the channel. Give us a shot. We'll do our best not to blow it. We appreciate everything that you do to support the show. Thanks again for watching. We're going to play some D&D in a couple minutes, but first, let's recap last week.
Previously on Better Than Heroes, worried that their presence would draw their enemies to the vulnerable city, the crew left Jadurian in the dead of night aboard their new ship, the Stella Luna. In an effort to buy some time on one front of their many-sided war, K.A.I and Klik decided to hack into Moonboy's dreams using Klik's new and improved omnipathy engine. There, they hope to have a Zoom meeting with Powerface, the megalomaniacal beholder baron of the outer worlds. They met Moonboy in his NBA Jam-style dream world, where he was hot-dogging it for an adoring crowd. Powerface did show up to parlay. alternating between declaring his adoration for the crew and threatening to kill them in an Iwo Jima-worthy public display of red flags. Even so, Powerface was surprisingly willing to negotiate so long as the crew agreed to a top-secret alliance. He revealed the location of the dinger, which was being held at a secret workshop by the Arcane. Powerface reluctantly agreed to allow the crew time to find the dinger and bring their affairs in order before they came into the fold as his prized possessions. Klik was able to convince Powerface to turn his armies away from the vulnerable city of Fermaregna and towards the mind flayers at the Tears of Saloon. So we're bargaining with beholders, dragons, and mind flayers. Are we bad guys? Just putting it out there. It's okay if we are, but we're not, are we? Find out right now on Better Than Heroes.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Okay. So we find our crew in Moonboy's room, below deck on their new ship. This cozy scene of barrels scattered about the room. And Flute, you join the party here. You know, you've kind of been in and around with the amulet so you know that you could keep yourself safe if anything went wrong from, you know, and you kind of like step in the room with this crew, and they're, you know, Moonboy has just gotten done dreaming. Klik is also, you know, like kind of experienced a dream for the first time. K.A.I's experienced a dream for the first time. And they're all kind of just like here in front of you. And we left last session
He wakes up.
just on a cliffhanger of what you said to them in this moment. So what do you say to them in this moment when you find them post-dream? It's nothing huge.
Oh, me?
I just ended the last session with like,
Oh,
and
great.
Flute says,
Love a low-stakes
You.
cliffhanger.
I think I was probably in the bathroom the whole time, since that's now canonically where I am when I'm not here. And I
don't
and I
worry,
entered the room like,
they all established that very clearly. So, yeah.
Sorry,
He was doing number two.
Chilly Whispers got me.
You're gonna Al Bundy your way back on screen. Flush.
yeah, I read the Discord.
Chilly Whispers, Jerry.
Chilly Whispers has almost destroyed me so many times this week.
Chilly Whispers have almost destroyed me many times as well. But I overcame.
I'm gonna
Well,
spill night coffee
how did it
all
go?
over my computer.
How did it go?
How did it go? Surprisingly well.
Yeah, surprisingly well for us, pretty much blowing it. We are now in league with Powerface.
I mean, we already were to
Yes,
the
but
same degree.
we didn't sign anything. We didn't sign anything.
Yeah,
We
if you
just
commit
kind
to
of-
if you commit to a contract in a dream, did it really happen? Legally.
I know that if you, it's
We need a
I
dream
mean, if-
lawyer for that.
yes, if you.
And Moonboy definitely knows one.
That's
I
true.
do-
Even as you
enough
say
to
that, you
say-
see like a small glowing worm kind of like crawl out from under Moonboy's hat and down his face.
No. He eats it. No, no.
I'm just trying to picture the bus bench ad for the dream lawyer.
I
Teeth falling out again?
Did you get a DUI in your dream?
Yeah. Showed up naked to school again? Call me, Zachariah P. Dreamscape.
Are you in a fight with your landlord, but it's also your brother and it's also your dad? Are your fists birds and won't punch? Call me.
Are you in the backseat of the car while you're also driving? Well,
Well, it's also your old apartment. Yeah, okay. The Moonboy does indeed know a dream lawyer. He has run afoul of some sort of elemental bureaucracy in the past, which is the reason that there are. He now seems to be not in control of his summons as much, and so he needs to talk to this little bat fellow whose name was. Can I
Bartholomew?
history roll for it? Bartholomew was. Are you sure it
Wait, no.
wasn't Battholomew?
are you referring to the bat that is in your hat?
The
Yes,
Bat
the
rat?
hat bat. Yes.
Yeah, it's
The
Bartholomew.
the self
Yeah.
same. Okay. I suppose I could.
I mean, legally or not, I think we're obligated to keeping this one.
Well, I mean, it's not a
Are
bad
we?
idea.
I feel like we're just going to have to kill Powerface at some point.
It's not a bad idea. Well, we thought the same thing about slow death.
I know, but like, he wants us to go find the Dinger and then like come be an extension of his body and existence in his ownership of all things and conquer
Right.
the universe. We don't want that, do we?
Well, I like the first
Windrider,
part.
long story short, we pointed Powerface at the home planet of the
The
last
Tears of
bastion
Saloon.
of Tears of Saloon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch
said-
of mind flayers there, right?
Yeah, which is an asteroid belt around the moon of the of Toral.
Was that the
Yeah.
Mind Flayer one, or
That's my
was
home
that
planet.
the?
There's
That-
a bunch of mind flare ones.
This was the.
It's not the main mind flare one.
Oh no, Toral is the
Oh, that's like
kind of the Earth of this world, and it's where a lot of the Forgotten Realms
Right,
canonical
but there was
settings
another
take
one
place.
with Widowers, right, Rachel?
This was Meridian Tract. This was the last
Meridian
bastion of the
Tract,
Meridian
that's
Tract
right.
that we
Yes,
sent.
that's what I'm thinking of.
That we sent Powerface to go find and wipe out.
Yes.
The one with the secret door.
Yeah.
Widowers are mostly dead, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're sort of
Supposedly.
scattered to the wind.
Right. We win.
Yeah, we beat them.
Widowers.
He was gonna go directly to the Mind Flayers, but I was worried about sending him to Garden alone,
Right.
and so now he's going to the Tears of Saloon, which is also occupied by other people. So I don't feel great about that
So
either.
I think probably
All in all,
we
it's
can,
not great. But we did buy some time.
we can worry about. I mean, Powerface will be a constant concern, but I think for now, we know where the Dinger is. It's a
How do
matter
we
of
get there?
how.
Yeah, we have
how
to
get
travel through
not-
to another dimension. We don't know how to do that.
We're not
Well-
100% sure on how to get there.
there. Perhaps
Do we
with
at least have any leads? Did he have any hints?
a powerful druid.
It's
Could
the Azure.
potentially.
It's the Azure Forge, and it's the Arcane's main laboratory, but it like moves around, and so
Do
it's
we know-
not necessarily hard to or easy to find.
Do we know what plane it's on, or is it kind of in its own like planar nodule?
Yeah, it's in like some kind of pocket dimension or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Arcane are known for being these creators of Spelljammer helms and being very elusive. Powerface didn't give you the location because he does not know it. It was kind of what was insinuated there too, as it's very hidden. So
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
sounds like we need to find one of these Arcane, and they could tell us.
I can see. I mean, if we were on the same plane of existence, I could see the captain, but we're not. A powerful enough druid could potentially take us to another plane of existence, but I'm just not there yet. I can feel the edges of it, but I can't.
To another plane of existence?
Yes. Perhaps a wizard.
I'm working on some tech that could move us between planes, but it's not there yet either.
Maybe we could
We
just
could talk
start.
We could talk with the portal rangers and see if maybe they know of a portal that'll go to another plane.
Now that's an idea.
That's a good idea.
There's the Windrider. So cool.
Yeah, well, we have contacts
Respect,
there. It's sort of
baby.
our best shot, although they're not super kind to fishy space travel. You know, there's a lot of bureaucracy. And, worth
I
a
could-
shot, I guess.
Yes. Well,
I wonder if we don't just keep working on our own technology and catch up with Powerface at the Tears of Saloon.
it's a thought.
I mean, we didn't learn anything that would need us to change our sort of immediate trajectory. 'Cause
Yeah,
we don't know
we
how
need to
get-
save. We need to rescue the crew, but how?
How?
We've never traveled interdimensionally. We don't even have the dinger.
Well, we know for a fact that the Arcane are capable of such travel. Perhaps we start there. We've seen them before on this plane. Let's find one and ride him into another plane like a boogie board. You know?
And not to be
We
overly
out of
grim,
ga-
but
out-
it's been almost 40 days, so if the captain and the crew are dead, then they've already been killed.
That's true. I do have a spell that could, if we got a hold of an arcane, I could force them with
To
enough
boogie board.
time. I could force them with enough time to
boogie?
give us the to potentially open a portal to this realm. GS, Gaius. I can put a JS upon him to tell us.
I got some pliers in
Do
the
I-
toolbox too.
I like the idea of you all like leaning against all of these different barrels, like late at night, kind of like discussing maybe torturing someone with magic. Like,
We're not.
No,
We're not.
no, we're good guys.
I mean, that's what I was putting forward. I'm not gonna pretend.
We're not
Yeah.
not talking about that. But it
Yeah,
is
you
just
like
more
there's like this
of a
like small
cajoling.
fireplace in
We're
in
not
the corner
talking
there
about
of-
not doing it.
We're
Yeah,
all
of Moonboy's
smoking.
barrel room, and you're all just kind of like looking at each other like, "There, I do have this spell," you know, like you're edging up to it
I
inside of this
don't like
barrel
to
room.
do it, but, I've done some shit. Man.
Do we
forgive me,
have
I was-
any idea where the arcane would be on this plane?
You can roll a history check, and this is kind of to collate some of the information that you like. You know, you've touched up against them. This wouldn't necessarily be something you remember from your previous life, but like kind
I-
of grasping something from that you've talked to before.
Yeah,
one other
we
person
just
can do
had
it.
a big fight with
May
them.
I do it? Or actually, I'm not that smart. Maybe Kai wants to do it.
Sure. I was going to
It's a
ask.
meta game.
Guidance. Click.
Olophanticulus has told me about the arcane
That's a
and
D4.
Yes.
the Azure Forge a little bit. Do I know anything? Can I recall anything that might help us?
I got a
you can do-
16, if that's helpful.
Cool. With the 16 history tech, they are salesmen of Spelljammer helms and often Spelljammer ships. So anyone you know who would maybe sell ships or magical items
Interesting.
might be someone who could have dealings with them. So that's not exact, but
Aaron?
it just makes sense of like a dealer of these things might have a contact that could connect you with them.
Also guidance for Aaron.
Yes, you can do a history check for this. Yeah.
Maybe someone on Firma would know. Maybe Whoosh.
Whoosh.
Maybe
What was the
Whoosh.
name? The Moss Man.
Swan.
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 24.
You know that Olophanticulus did not know the location of the Azure Forge.
Florian
So-
might.
Yeah, so if it was something that was, you know,
Jeez, we could still just go to
Yeah.
Florial. I mean, we know for a fact that there was a lead to Florial in the Goblin Palace.
I mean, if anyone would know how to go to another dimension. It's Florial.
Yes, for sure. And the goblins were largely cleared out by mind
That
flayers,
place
right?
is currently occupied by a mind flayer.
Is it
army.
occupied, or was it just, or did they just chase them out? Do we know?
Pretty sure it's.
We don't know.
Pretty sure it's occupied, is what we were told.
Yeah, most of the goblins you've talked to were fleeing from the attack, so you don't know their... the goblins that you talked to did not know the final result of the attack, but know that they lost.
Well,
so,
I mean, the Palace of the Skull Goblin King is definitely closer than the Tears of Saloon, and it also definitely has one of Florial's crazy contraptions inside.
Okay.
But it's probably currently occupied by hella mind flayers.
Whose
And
asses
there's
we
also the complication of the dragon.
Right.
have. There is that dragon thing.
Right.
The dragon will likely, when we find Florial, a dragon will likely enter into the equation, which we will probably have to fight, which will be made a lot easier if we can get.
Florial's around and is interested in
Maybe.
fighting a dragon.
If the legends
Maybe he's not. I
actually
mean, we don't really know anything.
No.
And the
you
thing
have
that
any-
you got to from the Clutch of Souls, Rachel, just a reminder, is that it's not necessarily a... Your question that you asked kind of with that adventure was, is there a way to travel faster through there? And the answer was yes, there is this kind of like web that has been made by Florial that connects a lot of places in this world.
Yeah.
So,
such as.
yeah, so I just want to make sure you don't...
Yeah.
It wasn't like insinuated that if you step through the door that you go, like the honeycomb doors that you found in the Palace of the Skull Goblin King, the Florial's going to be on the other side. It's just this
Right.
like...
It could be.
it's
It's
web.
this web.
True, we have
Sure.
we have no idea.
We could get close to the palace, and I could do a
a lead.
flyover in my ship. Maybe a little harder to spot.
It's worth a shot. It's our best lead so far.
Oh, I could scry it. I could scry the palace.
Yeah,
We've been
you
there.
go. Yes, let's
Hey.
do that.
Look at that.
Take a peek at the palace,
spells.
Let's use
Moonboy.
that. Let's use magic.
I shall. I've got just the thing.
And the Moonboy is going to take off his hat, and I think batter a couple of tentacles back into it, and he's going to go.
Well, that's not what we're doing this time. It's a different incantation.
And he is going to utter some words over this doobly, and he's going to cast. And it's almost like you see, like, through the open hole of the hat, you see like it's like a train goes by, you know, like you see like a few different sunlights spill in and out, and different nights, and then it kind of settles on one area. And as he casts Scry and tries to peer into the Goblin Palace.
Jordan, this is just for the fun of it, but a material component you need for scrying is a focus worth at least 1,000 gold pieces, such as a crystal ball, a silver mirror, or a font filled with holy water.
Okay.
Since you took this spell and had 40 days in Firma Regna, you know, this is something that maybe if you were in a different, I mean, in Judorian, I think if this is something that if you were maybe in a different situation, you would have to like go find out and buy. But I think because you had this like off time, this could be something that you acquired.
Sure.
But I would love to hear what object that is worth 1,000 gold pieces that now is inside of your hat that allows you to scry.
Inside
this
of
way.
the hat.
Does the
Disco
spell
ball.
consume? Does the spell consume it?
It does not consume it. You just have to have it. So I mean, this can
Okay.
be like we're kind of bending the rules a little bit here, just because I think
Yes.
it's fun to have you look into your hat. But I like the idea of like you stuck something in this hat and it disappeared, but it
Sure.
now gave you this ability to do this in there.
Love it. Wow. Let's geez, so a couple of things jump to mind. I spent a lot of time on garden working with the Garden Society to plant some patches of Lunastaran plants, as you'll remember.
Yep.
So the first thing that comes to mind is, almost like a commemorative, like, trowel that they gave him. You know what I mean?
Crusted
Look
with
deep into my
jewels.
shovel. Yeah.
Yes, very much so.
Scrying shovel.
A little kid one.
Yes, and I think it is kind of, like one of those little trowels, and they, because what were they? They were like monks. My dragon monk in the spin-off episode, I think, was one of the gardeners.
Yeah.
And they gave him this trowel, and you know what? Let's even have him reach in and kind of pull it out, because I kind of like the idea of like scrying in the earth. Is that possible?
Ooh, I love that. That's awesome.
Yes,
You know
because
what I
it's
mean?
cool.
Gross.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
it.
I think you see the Moonboy takes this gross. There's prognostication worms in there. The Moonboy takes this silver spade out of the hat and puts it back on, and kneels down. Where are we?
Yeah, so you're
the
on the
ship.
ship and you are
We're
in
Moonboy's
the...
room.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So he would have, like some plant, some potted.
You can take
What,
it to the
garden
greenhouse
beds?
if you want.
Yes, I just need some soil, basic. Any soil will do it.
And they find this little potted plant, and he takes a scoop of soil out of it and casts it onto the floor, and you see within it these little specks of light, and it almost looks like a constellation in the dirt, but like seeds, and they're these little kind of illusory silver seeds, and as Moonboy sifts through them,
And they
he's
start
able
to they start to grow and get lighter and lighter. They start to create like actual light in this room, like the sun
Hell yeah.
reflecting off water. And you, now that because you are casting the spell Scrying, you can see and hear a particular creature you choose that is on the same plane of existence as you. The target must make a wisdom saving throw, which is modified by how well you know the target. The target is affected. Man, I thought you could cast this on an object too. Maybe you can't.
Oh no, you can cast
maybe
it on
it
a
has to
place,
be
right?
Maybe it has to be an actual person.
No, you can
We
leave
left
like
a
clairvoyance
case
in a
of
place.
we left a case of ice cream cones.
It's true.
We
true.
did.
Is it
Yeah. Okay.
objects or
I think.
not?
I think the language of the spell says there needs to be a creature. So if you can think of a
What
creature,
about the Goblin
maybe-
King?
Yeah. If you want to do that, you absolutely can.
Okay, the Goblin King. Let's do it. See and hear a particular creature that you choose that is on the same plane of existence as you. Target must make a wisdom saving throw, which is modified by how well you know the target. Second hand, first hand, I've met them, familiar, you know the target well. So probably
I mean, we shared
first
ice cream.
hand.
Pretty
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah. I mean, I think with where you left it, you know them very well. Yeah.
I see. You can use an object to see the creature.
Yeah. So, yeah, I truly forgot because I haven't used the spell in this way in a while that it has to be a person.
Well, listen to this, though. On a failed save, the spell creates an invisible sensor within 10 feet of the target. You can see and hear through the sensor as if you were there. Sensor moves with the target, remaining 10 feet of it for the duration, within 10 feet of it. Crazy.
You can just scry on them.
So I get to roll then because he
Yes.
doesn't know you were casting the spell, so he doesn't voluntarily
Yes.
fail it. But you do cast a spell, and he's going to make a roll, and I need to know your spell save DC, please.
16.
Cool. Oh boy. So you see these like shining orbs in the dirt that kind of like came out, that are drawn out from the earth by this silver trowel you have, this scrying shovel, divination digger, and the shimmering dots fill your eyes to the point where you're almost blinded by the light for a second, and when it clears up, when it comes back to you, you can see the skull Goblin King battered. The skull that he wears on his head cracked and broken. he does look fried.
Battered.
As he just looks,
No.
you can see there's like dried blood from out his nose and ears, and the skull that he had on his head from before is cracked.
Oh.
And he's kind of like
I'm
crumpled
saying
up in
this
a
all
corner.
to them.
But he's still alive, and
See him?
he
He's
seems to
alive.
be tethered by something. It seems like a tentacle, maybe, but it's like coming out of view. And
He's down bad, baby.
but you see
Like
some
he's
broken
horny?
materials that are like like some like papers, like shuffle of papers, like broken bones, and the floor as well. You recognize that he is still in the hall that you met him in, that you fed him ice cream in.
Can I? Okay, so he's kind of still in his office, huh?
Yep.
Can I look around? Is there anyone here?
Yeah, you can see in a 10-foot circle from him. So let's have you do a perception check.
Okay. Come on, MB. That's 14.
With a 14, you hear him every once in a while as you're like watching him. He kind of like jerks and is startled and keeps like looking over, and he responds verbally. Like if you watch him for like a couple of minutes, you hear him go, "No, no."
Okay.
And he seems to be like responding to someone.
You say he is attached to something,
Yeah.
but from what? Like attached how?
It's wrapped around his waist, and the tentacle seems to be going longer than 10 feet. But it is not like the tentacle hanging from a mind flayer's face. It is it is huge. It's the size. It's like bigger than a giant, a Goliath's arm. It's
Is it
about
like anything
Like the front
I've
of a
ever
nautiloid.
seen?
Yeah, like the
guess I'm
thing
not
that you
seeing
would maybe most compare it to is the front of the nautiloid. It's maybe smaller than that.
Interesting.
It's not quite like gigantic, but you can roll a nature check if you want
Oh,
to.
I would love to. Again, my time meditating on garden has allowed me to switch up my stats a little bit. So this is the first the first nature roll with good Moonboy stats for it. And he got a 27.
Oh,
Wonga
Actually,
flonga.
I know
Just a
that
second.
tentacle.
Can't know that tentacle anywhere.
Harlan has the tentacle.
Oh shit.
Is this your
I just come
tentacle?
back with this. Insane
Yeah, it's
tentacle.
just I couldn't quite get out.
Gigantic. Bringing it in out of the fridge.
Out of the fridge, gross.
hold on. Let me tap into my tentacle chest real quick.
I've been I got locked up in yakitori TikTok somehow. And a lot of barbecued tentacles. And they look
Yum.
delicious. Ugh. I think I'm off octopuses though. They're just too smart.
That's great.
I only eat stupid things. I deserve it.
There's this awful commercial.
Why don't you show me your Wordle score, chicken, and we'll talk.
Bring me a cow that was too stupid to evade the axe.
There's this awful commercial that's going around right now where they're like trying to decide what to have for dinner, and he goes, "What about sushi?" And she says, "I had sushi for lunch. What about Indian?" And he said, "Nah, maybe seafood." And she says, "You know I don't like seafood." And that's the whole commercial. And you're like, "You have two lines."
So
What's it a
mad about
commercial
that.
for?
She just had sushi for lunch. She took what?
She not only does she like seafood, she eats it raw.
I know one thing about this character, and
He's
it's that
caught her in a
she had
lie.
sushi for lunch.
She's cheating on him.
Yeah.
It's the first.
Or she just gets like vegetable sushi. She just likes. I
She's
like to
an
spend a lot of
adulteress.
money, but I don't ever want to feel
Yeah.
full.
I like
have a-
rice with cream cheese mostly. God. Anyway, it made
so-
me very mad.
Fair. Moonboy, as you feel some sort of connection to this tentacle when you, as you're like staring at it, and you just have a flash to having just seen Power Face and the maybe before you have seen beholders maybe in a past, like it's like seeing someone in the store that you think you know but it's not them, and they just like look a lot like your friend or something. But as you're scrying, you see the Skull Goblin King get picked up, and it's like no, and the 10 feet goes with him as the tentacle lifts him up and holds him in front of its face. And you see a beholder eye that is milky blue. That's kind of just like this pale white and blue that looks far away, like gone. And it seems to be floating in the air, surrounded by this like red translucent flesh, and you can see this kind of like beating of blood throughout it as the tentacle just like holds it up in front, and you hear him just go, no, and
God!
none of the there's like more tentacles that come up, and none of them have eyes at the end like stalks like beholders do. It's just this beholder eye with a bunch of tentacles like wriggling off the sides of it.
What is it?
With a 26
27.
27, excuse me. I want you to I want you to roll a. What is this? What do you think is a stealth check of the mind?
Oh
Jordan?
God! I don't know.
What
Deception.
skill do you think is
Yeah,
the
like
skill?
deception.
What would it be?
Sleight
what do you-
of brain.
Yeah, maybe deception. Maybe. What do you
Deception?
need? What do you need to clear your mind?
Ooh.
Medicine.
Peace.
Roll for chill,
In-
dude.
insight?
It's
Can
a
I make
new
an
skill that I just
argument
made
for
up.
a straight wisdom save? Maybe
100%. Yeah, I will absolutely let you make a wisdom saving throw.
That makes sense.
to kind of hide in the currents of consciousness.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God. It's an 11, but it was almost a natural 20.
Oh boy.
Lucky for you, I got a 10.
Oh, come on!
Huge.
I was like, ooh, when you said when you
were
reacted to
the
that, I was like,
curse of being one under.
I know,
It's
truly.
wild.
I don't fudge the narrative shit. It's too good. Dice tell a story,
No
man.
need.
But you just see this milky eye, and you have like a sense memory moment, like staring into it, where you can just see this whole thing, and it's this like see through. It's like holding light up to your skin. You know, have you ever done that when you put like a flashlight
Sure,
here and you
sure.
like see through? It looks like that with
Classic
just
move.
tentacles all around the eye, and it you just hear the term in your head. Like when you see it, you just know it. It's called a mind witness, and it's something created by mind flayers when they get a hold of a beholder.
A holder.
God, what? That's awful.
So it's like a mind flared beholder. It's
Yeah, flayed beholder. That's on the Yakitori TikTok.
And then you can. How long does this spell last? Let's find out. 10 minutes. So I would say about
horrifying.
5 minutes have gone by. It seems
Yeah.
the Skull Goblin King seems to be responding to things, but just kind of like in yes or no's and like kind
Is
of
it
like quivering in front of it.
Interrogating him, and that's all.
It seems to be, yeah.
Okay. I want to do one last perusal of the room to see if there's anything important Anything sticking out? Any other fucking aberrations of crimes against nature lurking? And then I'm gonna get the hell out of here.
Cool. Roll another perception check then. For to see if you can.
There's that nat 20, 28.
Hey, gorgeous.
So what is it altogether?
28 total.
Oh boy. With that, you don't hear anything, but you again seem to see the Skull Goblin King respond to another creature off camera here, kind of like outside of this realm, which just goes hazy at the end here. You just have this pinhole as he's kind of like being moved around by this tentacle. But you just see a sword stick out and kind of like up to the bottom of his throat here. And you recognize that sword as the sword that was floating next to the Mind Flayer that you fought when the Nautiloid chased you all through the tunnels of Garden, and the kind of like captain of these Mind Flayers who escaped from before. So you know that he is like there with this
plane
mind witness.
shifted away.
Great. I'm pulling out immediately, and I think this kind of floating cluster of these silver seeds just kind of dissipate immediately.
Well,
And the
what'd you see?
Moonboy is back.
Oh God, they're there. The Mind Flayers are there, and they're cooking up trouble. They've got a big, whoa, they've got a bad Larry in there.
What do you
Bad
what?
Larry?
A big bad Larry. I don't know. It was the word mind witness.
Mind witness.
They did something to a beholder. Yes. Oof is the word, Kai.
They
Could you
did
tell
something
how
to a
many?
beholder?
Yeah, the Mind Flayers got a hold of it, and I
flayed
guess
it
they
all up.
flayed it. Yeah, it was. Pardon my French.
And that seems to be the end of the sentence.
What? Well, did it look like there was like a lot of?
Oh, that guy was there. The guy.
How
the
many?
Mind Flayer. I saw one of them. I didn't catch a name, but he had a sword. Remember, from the picture.
The one that got away?
Right, that guy.
The one that got
The
away.
one that got away. Unlucky in love, lucky in combat.
Well, we could put your new ship
could
to
go there.
the test, Kai.
I mean, we could.
We can be sure that whatever, so the Goblin Palace, the king is still alive. He's not having a great time. And it's definitely covered in Mind Flayers, one of whom we know, and they've got a bad Larry.
I mean,
Well, why don't we get close and do a bit of spying?
Okay.
I think that's a good idea. If it looks like it's too inaccessible, if it's not possible, then we'll leave. Then we'll pivot and go towards the Tears of Saloon. Does that sound right?
Right.
I know I sent him the other direction, but Powerface wouldn't like the Mind Flayers messing with the Beholder,
That's true.
right? Do you suppose I know he probably doesn't have any allegiance to other Beholders, but the idea that the Mind Flayers think they can overpower the Beholders.
She's right.
He
It's
probably
proof
wouldn't
positive
like that at all.
that they're coming for his power, for his throne. We've got to tell him right away. I've got another 5th level slot. I can call him.
It's I know
Might
we
be
just
worth
cut off
doing.
the phone, but
We can just do our first. It'll look good. We'll be like, "Hey, Powerface, we just wanted to check in right away because you are so powerful and big, and we wanted to let you know."
And we don't play games.
Yeah,
yeah.
even though
Maybe send some
it's
reinforcements.
exclusively what we do.
Sure.
We
Both
string
in and out of
along.
character.
We string along evil and powerful creatures until we get what we want.
and we kill them
And then
sometimes
we
when there
turn
are
on them.
prisoners.
Yeah.
Oh,
we have a-
one. Yeah.
Do we have a way to talk to Powerface that's not sleepy time?
Yeah, I could do the same thing that I just did. I could scry him one more time. I've got another. I can feel it within my bones. I've got enough room.
That doesn't really.
Can't just take a
or
nap on the way
maybe
to
he can
garden.
just.
I could take a nap. Probably. He might show up. I mean, we just talked to him, so he might not feel like he needs to check in. Unless he gets bored sometimes. If I was able to jump into other people's dreams while I was dreaming, you bet I'd be doing it all the time. Windrider, I'd be in there all the time.
Just
We'd be
hanging out.
playing
Also,
tennis.
we told him that we'd check in
Skiing.
within 7 days.
Playing tennis
true.
while skiing.
Right now is within.
We didn't
7
say
days.
it was gonna be, half hour later, but we got a lead on the dinger, and
How long is it from here to the Palace of the Skull Goblin King?
Oh, just a few hours.
yeah, we're close.
Yeah.
Might be worth a shot.
I don't know. Didn't we specifically ask him for a way to get in touch with him that wasn't sleeping? And then we
Yes,
kind
and then he-
of got
and then
off
he-
of it because he
You-
was like,
you-
"Yeah,
you
we're gonna
said
send
no
a
to
guy
it
with him."
Because
Yeah,
he wanted to send
he
a
wanted
guy.
to
You
send
said
a guy
no.
to.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Emissary.
he wanted
Do
to
we
send
know,
a
like-
babysitter, Windrider.
Yeah, but that's
we were
not
like-
going to work for us. We can't be tied down like that with a
Shackled.
boss,
To some boss.
some evil boss.
Well,
who's
we can
trying to
update
get
him
us-
whenever we get the chance.
Well, I mean, I can legit do it right now. We could
Alright.
U-turn this baby. I mean, do we have enough time to take a long rest before we get there?
No, it's only a few
No,
hours.
it's only a couple
I mean,
hours.
you could post the ship up. You all are kind of like, this is the end of the night. You all were like falling
Mm-hmm.
asleep. So you do
Okay.
need to either decide if you're going to like push through the,
Oh,
like
it's
continue on
nighttime.
with this
Late,
day. Or like right now your ship is kind of parked in
Okay.
the wilderness of the layer of,
Well-
like the expansive layer of slow death. So
You know, Windrider, maybe with the two of us sleeping, we can just, like, contact him in our dreams. He did say that that's how to get a hold of him.
He also said he wouldn't show up and stop you from sleeping anymore, but I guess that doesn't necessarily include a promise to not pop into your dreams and
Trust
try
us.
to own you.
It was
I-
pretty
I'm-
unpleasant.
I've known people like Powerface. He'll answer the text.
Sure.
All right,
he's a,
then. Well,
he's
I
a
guess
thirsty space bitch.
I guess we'll sleep, and
Attorney at law.
if Kai wants to take the ship
Adult Swim.
as close as he
listening?
dares,
Also, I will take one
Yeah.
mug with the words "thirsty space bitch" on them, please. Thank you.
It's very good.
It's just Saturn in
very good
juicy
for
shorts.
That's me, thirsty space bitch. All right.
Oh my god.
so the plan is for you all just going to take a long rest and see if he shows up in your dreams. Is that correct?
I guess so.
If it's
Do we-
nighttime,
do
we need
any
to
of
do
us
it anyway.
know the sending spell
No.
for long distance? Kentucky?
You know, those handy
Wait,
bread
maybe.
and butter
Let's
D&D
see.
spells that none of us have.
I
Hang
don't
on.
have it.
Hang on, let me see.
Well, we do have the Rocky Talkies, so we got complacent.
That's true.
No, I have Skywrite.
While they're all chatting, I'm gonna. Can I?
Klik, can I borrow your Rocky Talkie?
Yeah.
And I'll go
You
out in the
gonna
hall and I'll
Talk to yourself
call
in the corner.
the breeze traveler.
Breeze Traveler.
Father!
Oh, God. No.
Where are you?
That's
It's
new.
me, the Windrider. I'm not your father.
Oh, hold on. I think you're in my pocket. He says, and you just hear like.
Oh no, I think I just took a picture.
You can't yell when I talk to you on this. You can't yell. You have to play it absolutely cool. You have to be quiet. All right.
Cool.
God, I have it in my hand now.
How's your journey going so far?
Luscious. It's fruitful, and we're moving through space well.
Just be cool.
He's so nervous. Are you guys dating?
Kind of.
We're doing a good job.
that's good.
Our crew is going great. The
All right.
Kreen team has already made helpful additions to my ship.
That's good. That's good. All right. Well, I just wanted to check in.
Tell him about the beholder going to the Tears of Saloon. 'Cause I think they were supposed to meet us there.
That's where they are going. Yes.
We are.
Wait, no, weren't they?
Well, no,
going to the-
they're going back to.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Koliar.
They're going to Koliar,
And
but
then they will.
then they were
Then they will
supposed to
check
go to
in
the
with
Tears.
us. But yes, I'll
No,
tell 'em.
you're right.
We chatted with Powerface, and he's headed toward the Tears of Saloon. So don't head that way without contacting me or somebody else first. All right?
Sounds good. I will not attack Powerface's fleet before I hear from you.
That's correct.
That's good.
Wonderful. I just want you to know, I'm doing a very good job at being a captain of this, of the Ringer.
The Ringer. It's called the Ringer. Yeah.
No, I know. I was trying to think of like maybe if I could throw in like a junior or like a Team 2 thing that like would work well, and it didn't. I couldn't quite pull it out in time. So, I think I just wanted you to know that I'm doing a good job.
I don't doubt it. You got all those people to Jadorian safe.
Yes. And now
All right.
I'm going to. Yes. Okay. Goodbye. Are you sure you don't want to hang out a little bit longer? Because we
No,
can.
I gotta go to sleep. I have to go.
Okay.
I have to have a dream chat briefly with Powerface.
You're so cool. All right. Goodbye.
All right. Talk to you later. Click.
That was supposed to be the
don't have to
walkie-talkie,
say
but
click.
also Klik. Here's your walkie-talkie.
Click.
Don't talk to her that way. That's weird. You guys are family.
You just say click. You don't have to. Like, what is the accent?
Click.
I know it all worked out, but I do think that it needs to be mentioned that the very last paragraph of the scrying spell, which neither of us chose to read, says instead of targeting
Oh,
a
damn.
creature, you can choose a location you have seen before as the target of the spell.
Oh my
When you
gosh.
do, the
we could've
sensor appears
chosen-
at that location and doesn't
God
move.
damn it! I knew for some reason. I was like, I feel like it could be a location.
I
If only
thought
it was in
so
the
too.
rules. Yeah,
Well,
that
you
was
should.
legit.
You're about to get the
funniest
spell
part is
back.
we both read it and we both skipped that last part. We're like, I guess this is everything.
You should do the outside of the Skull Goblin Palace. Let's see how many Nautiloids are parked out front.
Okay, or I can.
Because you're about to get all the spells back. Because we're about to snooze.
Yeah, okay. Should I do that?
Hypothetically.
I mean, I think that'll tell us more about how many are inside.
I do it. I'm going to
Yeah.
do it. I'm going to scry the outside of the palace of the Skull Goblin King. I do the whole ritual again. I get the sack of special dirt. I sprinkle
just
it
use the
out.
same
You
dirt-
see
oh, okay.
silver seeds that weren't there before, and Moonboy is able to divine their meaning.
It is only 10 feet that you can
Oh
see.
yeah, god damn it.
So if there is a place,
I totally forgot about that. Was there
Yeah,
like a
there's
dock?
not
How
so
many-
much of the special
Was there
scrying dirt.
a dock for the ships?
there is
It's
a
a
place
really
where
small
you docked
one.
your ship. Yes.
Okay, that's
So,
where
yeah,
How
we're
many
going.
nautiloids fit in 10 feet? Harlan, quick.
You need someone from the Bureau of Mines.
I totally forgot it was 10 feet. So
If they're
yes.
right next
Not
to
a
each
whole
other.
number. That is a
What if
Absolutely.
they're
Fraction.
right?
4
Right
and
next
all
to each
noses
other.
fit. All
No
the
fractions.
tips.
What if they're gingerly touching
Oh
tips?
god, that's why they call it docking.
Got the break.
Get me out of here.
Blackout.
I quit. I quit better than heroes. Goodbye.
Oh my God! Pick a location
wow.
before break. So this,
Docking is when two
you can
men
sleep during
love
break.
each other
We're
very
the
much.
docks, the space
Okay.
dock.
Yeah. When you cast the spell, you cast it on like a 10-foot region that you remember of this dock. It's kind of like where the ship set down.
Where we docked, yeah.
Yeah. And
Don't
you
say
see,
dark.
you see. Well, don't worry, it gets better. You see just like broken, shattered pieces of like clay wall there that you remember were the outsides of this palace, and you just see these purple, blue, fleshy tentacles draped around some of these pieces, which you would recognize as nautiloid tentacles.
It's on. It's a yeah. The Moonboy comes back and he says,
It's on. It's a whole. It's a full invasion. They're settling in. They're terraforming. It looks nice. Tentacles everywhere. It's sticky.
So you know there's at least one nautiloid there for sure.
Should I turn back? At least one.
At least one. I mean, I would guess.
Should I
more.
turn back
I mean,
around?
I don't know. How many nautiloids can this ship handle?
Between 0 and unknown. X.
X.
Well,
X
I
number
feel like
of
either way, you're
nautiloids.
not going anywhere tonight, right? The ship is
Right,
staying
we have to-
here, and you
we
all
have to
are taking a
rest.
rest.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I think with that, we're gonna cut to break as you all, Moonboy, you kick the crew out of your room, or maybe
Get
offer them
out.
barrels. I don't know, but
You could all choose
There's
a
like
barrel.
dirt all over the floor.
Yeah, I'm scooping up the dirt. I'm
There's
putting it back
a
into
you
its
see
various
a
pots.
like a
It's blessed dirt.
there's a you wanted to keep it.
Yes, it's special dirt. I've blessed it to grow
All
special
right,
moon
there's
plants.
like a
Wait, what do
broom
you
and
need?
dustpan that are like Fantasia style, sweeping up the dirt as
Oh,
if
okay,
by
well,
unseen
that's-
hands, and you have to wrestle the dirt
Give me
back
that. Stop it.
from being
This is-
thrown away.
This is special. These are cool, guy. I like it.
the dustpan starts like sweeping your hair, Moonboy.
Just
like,
ask them
yeah.
to stop.
That's-
The unseen servants
it is
will obey your
supposed-
commands.
To be like that, it's not dirty. Stop.
It is. They're programmed to clean up dirt. So maybe we'll find you like a receptacle. It
Okay.
won't trigger. I'll work on it. It's fine.
Right, can you show
Working
me
out the
to
kinks.
my room?
I can. I'd love to. Come on, this way. Good night, Moonboy.
Good night.
Good night,
And-
lamp. Good night, Moonboy. Okay, I won't do it
Good,
anymore.
Good night, Moonboy. Good night.
good night. I said
Cow
good
ju-
night.
Cow
Cow jumping over the Moonboy.
What's happening? Everybody get the hell out of my room.
We're not
Good
done
night, Mosh.
recalling.
Good night, Brox.
As
Stop
you all are
breaking
all
the
kicked
fourth
out.
wall.
Good night,
You're
Brush
That's
Boy.
my
grumpily
job.
kicked out of Moonboy's room as he finally wants to get back to his Space Jam dream, where people are chanting his name. You all leave his room, and Aaron, you can introduce the other two crew members to their room when we come back from break here. So we're going to take a quick 5-minute break. We'd like to take a break halfway through our sessions, where we take a 5-minute break where we drink, pee, and we'll be back in just 5 minutes. We'll see you in just a second.
Later, pea
Spelljammer.
drinkers.
Star maps. Star maps. Okay, we're back. So, Kai, Aaron, if you want to take the floor here and introduce the players to their new rooms that are below deck here, you absolutely can.
Sure, absolutely. So, we are down below decks on the Stella Luna, coming out of Moonboy's room, where we kind of went in a hurry, and it is a well-appointed, carpeted, and wooden hallway with art upon the walls, and there are doors to the different cabins throughout. There's one for Klik, there's one for Flute, and for the Windrider with a reversible name tag. You can choose who's in the room depending on how you're feeling. And there are also quarters for Goliathan and the other members of the Dinger, as well as some guest quarters doors. But if you guys are ready for bed, I can take you straight to your room. So if you want to have a look around. It's up to you. There's some things to see, but
we best get to bed. God knows what'll
Right.
happen in the night. We'll have time to explore tomorrow.
that's true. Well, Windrider, you're right here, next to the Moonboy. Down these stairs is the greenhouse, but you'll be right here through this door. There's a door that's labeled the Windrider and Klik. You'll be right up here, and if anyone needs me, you can just ask one of the unseen servants, and just sort of ask for me. I'll know.
All right.
I'll be
thanks.
around.
Thanks, K.A.I. It's quite the ship.
Thanks. I mean, we're just, thanks. I worked hard on it. I hope that it doesn't get destroyed.
Me too.
I hope we can find everyone to come and be here together.
I've never had a room of my own. I wonder what I'll do in there.
Well, let's take a look.
Not
and
sleep.
Well, yeah, I will open up the door to Klik's bedroom, although there is no bed in there. There is a desk, and there is a sitting area by a fireplace, and there is a doorway towards... I have a chamber for you here in case you wanted to do any training that I've been working on, so if you're interested in that, you can go in there and
Cool.
train with your weapons, but I don't think I've never seen you actually like train not actively fighting with someone, but we've talked about it, so I thought maybe you would like it. But the room itself is it's comfortably appointed. There are paintings of Jadurian and a few of the other places that we've been. There's one of Fermaregna, and there's sort of there's a couple of Kreen Githkas on the walls, and some books. It's it's not a huge room, but it's something, and it's for you.
Thank you, K.A.I. It's perfect.
Good. I'm glad.
Klik will sort of walk into the room a little bit uncomfortable with something that feels nice and comfortable. And she'll kind of sit in the middle of the floor, cross-legged, next to the furniture, and just sort of try to settle her mind for a night of not doing anything.
And then Flute, Aaron, do you want to introduce Flute to his room?
Sure, we'll bring Flute into his room. There is, it is the bedroom of a fussy, fancy boy. There is a fluffy four-poster bed with tapestries upon the walls. There are musical instruments lining the walls. There's a big, harpsichord piano type apparatus with lush carpets on the floor and a roaring fireplace and a bar, and it's for Flute.
Wow.
It's for Flute to be comfy.
I didn't have a room this nice back home.
I don't believe that.
Kind of take it all in.
Wow. Well, thank you, K.A.I.
You're welcome. And if you need to make way to your ship, the entrance to your dock is upstairs.
All right.
Now, I love that this is K.A.I. tucking everyone in. That's so sweet and
Good
nice.
night. Klik.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Yeah, I'll dump my bag on the floor and fall down on that bed. But I think like after I toss and turn in the bed for about an hour, because I haven't slept on a big, fancy, cushy bed in a long time, and eventually I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna take the comforter off, and I'm gonna make a hammock in the corner between the two walls, because I've slept in a hammock for so long now on these ships, and I'll crawl into my hammock and fall asleep.
I love it.
We'll make a note of it for updates.
Can you see
Here
him
right
in
now?
his room?
Are you watching me?
Yeah.
Good night.
No,
Kai,
I'm not actively
don't-
watching.
Kai, don't watch me. In
Sorry.
The room.
When I'm connected to the
I
ship,
wanna
I can kind of see everything everywhere.
No, disconnect from this room.
It doesn't work that way. I'm not looking. Just, it's fine. I'm not looking.
I feel
I'm
like
sorry.
you're looking. You saw what I did here, so yeah.
You don't know. You don't know that.
Oh God.
Good. Now sleep.
I'm just
And Kai will.
Flute's just like alone in the hammock, like kind of like
out.
like a teenager like camping or something, you know, like where you're like every sound is like, oh boy, is this it, you know?
Kai, is that you?
God, get out! Get out!
And Kai will make his way upstairs through the entryway that we initially came through, and up onto the second floor past his workshop and the kitchens, and onto the ship's bridge, which is right next to the workshop, and looks out over the sort of vines of garden where the ship is sitting through the glass windows. And we'll connect to there's a set of dual connected helms up here in the bridge, as well as a large area that one can see it looks about roughly the shape and size to house the helm that we know as Dingham Nidris. There's space for that here.
when you said dual connected helms, I immediately thought of the Pacific.
Yes.
Of the
Which
what?
is so amazing.
Pacific
the Pacific
Rim.
Rim way to pilot the
Oh.
giant robots. I'm sorry.
I don't think I've seen
I'm
that.
not trying to sidetrack.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
you've
fine.
never. Wow.
That's
okay.
important.
There's another cool thing. I'll kill it.
No, it's not cool.
So there isn't two helms on the ship. There is one helm that's like big stone chair that seems to have these like blue carvings on it, and then there is an empty space where it seems like Dingham Nidris could go. Is that correct, Aaron? Did I get that right?
There's sort of like a dual linked helm set up, and then there is also a space for Dingham Nidris.
What does the dual linked setup look like, and what is the function of that? Like what?
It is two helms sort of wired together, and there is no function of it. I just thought it was cool.
Okay, cool. So you have two
worked-
chairs then.
It worked like
'cause-
one helm. There's just one big helm that's made
Okay.
from two helms.
Okay,
But
cool.
it's kind of
But
redundant.
we can
so
pilot
two people,
together. Yeah.
Two people could
Yeah.
be sitting in it, and one person could get up without breaking the connection.
Yeah, theoretically.
Like in my ship as well. I got the same kind of thing.
Oh,
Cool.
sick. Yeah, we both have that. We both have that cool thing. And
Cool.
it's not lame.
Yeah, we both.
Yeah, it's cool, and it
sweet.
looks
Yeah.
cool. And
I'm
it
not
doesn't
interrogating
look-
you, I just wanna
it
make sure
doesn't
it's
look
clear.
weird
Yeah.
or stupid at all.
Yeah, so you have like basically multiple parts of like it looks like Spelljammer helms kind of like pushed together that are because they look like big stone chairs with like these engravings carved on them, and so it is two of those kind of like cobbled together and seeming like repaired together. Is that correct?
Yes. And Kai
It's
will
a little. It's a little Spelljammer love seat.
totally. It's a very
Kidding.
Martha Stewart. A Shay.
chairs.
It's a Spelljammer Shay lounge.
Yeah. Oh.
Like a fainting couch.
Totally.
And
someone's
Kai
gonna
will
do-
connect to the Spelljammer helm just to keep an eye out around them. And the room sort of lights up with K.A.I.'s light as he does that. And you can also see there's this enormous magical apparatus of some kind that's behind these helms.
Cool. Yeah, you just see this like whirring and like glowing behind K.A.I. That seems like this big giant something moving around behind him as he sits down in it, and you can kind of take watch this way if you want to, K.A.I, too, because when you're connected to the helm, you can see all around the ship.
That's my plan.
All right, great. You can roll, K.A.I, you can roll a perception check if you'd like, as you keep watch in the night here.
Let's do it.
And then
Sick.
Flute.
Natural one.
Yes.
Awesome.
Too busy
Flute.
watching me sleep.
Yep.
Lullaby.
Yeah, you just hear like soft German crooning.
And I would like
Please
to.
turn that
Stop
off.
it. Get
Sorry.
out of my room.
Sorry.
None
It's
of
the
us are
lullaby
sleeping in the
drive. I'll
shelter of
disable
the-
it.
In the shelter of the thingy, by the way.
You can turn it. Oh no, you can't turn it off. Oh no. The lullaby drive has taken over the ship.
Yeah. No one's sleeping under the amulet that protects you, correct? All right. Wonderful. Flute, could you roll a wisdom saving throw, please?
There it is.
Yeah.
Keeping with the
Also-
times, it isn't good. Boo 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 boo. An 8.
The dice tell Flute's terrible story.
Yes. The dice hate Flute and are surprised he's made it to level 10.
Flute, what are you dreaming of?
I think I'm having an eerie nightmare about an omnipresent consciousness that's like everywhere around me, like observing me, and this kind of just this weird kind of stress nightmare.
Yeah, you feel something watching you, and you're like running around like through a house, this like big wooden house, and every time you open a door, there's just a big eye in the door, and it's just like in everything that you open, there's just a big eye inside of it.
Maybe it's the estate where I grew up. We'll say, or my like childhood home.
Yeah, like it's this new house on the ship, but it's also your old house, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I keep seeing this big horrible eye.
And then finally, the roof of your home just is like lifted off, and up in the sky there is the big floating eye that you have seen before. That is Powerface's eye. And
right.
He goes. So you are here. They told me you weren't here, but
said you were in the bathroom.
I knew. I know that you're not one to be. I know that you are the one who can be trusted least out of this group. So I'm glad that I caught you sleeping.
Well, you have the worst manners possible. I'm just trying to rest.
Love it.
Yes, I don't care about your feelings. You're correct. Why? He kind of like looks at you and he goes, "What is inside of you?"
Inside of me, bones, skeleton.
I guess I know I've eaten living things before, but I mean magically. Do you know what is inside of you?
Oh, the rider? It's just a presence, I guess, that helps me out, it seems, when I'm in a pinch.
Interesting.
Do you know what's inside me?
No, I have no clue. Which is baffling to me, because I know more things than anyone I know. And he kind of looks at you again. There's like this eye, cocks an eyebrow that's not there. And he says, I know that you are going to betray your friends. I can feel it.
Well, I wouldn't put any stock in that forecast.
Okay, he says. That's fine with me. I've already made a good deal with your friends. They seem to be on my side and have allied with me. And we shall, but you didn't come visit me with them, so we will find out if you are, because I am very good at gambling and war. And I think that you are one that I would not trust out on the field of war or gambling. Not out on the gambling fields.
On the gambling war field? Right.
Oh, gambling on war is very fun, and I would not trust you with that.
Well, those are all brave assumptions, but I'm afraid I actually met someone who seems a bit more connected than you, friend. The Green Dragon, Slow Death. She seemed
Connected?
to know everything that was going on in Wild
She
Space.
is a hermit. How would she know anything?
She knew everything we asked her.
And she did not eat you. You have visited this green dragon, and she did not eat you.
She didn't eat any of us, but she knew everything about us.
But are you allies with her?
I don't know if I would describe it as allies, but she helped us out.
So you have made a deal with her.
I didn't make any deal with her.
You are
But who's-
dodging my questions, which is just more proof that you are untrustworthy.
Who's your best ally, though?
And he says,
I'm telling you the truth when I tell you I don't know the particulars of the deal because I wasn't there when it was made.
roll a persuasion check.
Hmm. 17.
He looks at you and goes, Flute, I think someday I will eat you.
Perhaps you will. Well, that's actually not why I'm not sleeping under the amulet tonight. We took a look at the Skull Goblin King's Palace, and it seems there's a beholder there that's been corrupted by mind flayers.
What? What do you mean?
I mean, it's like you, but corrupted by mind flayers, taken over.
The eye kind of like looks back and forth and goes, I have heard of
think they-
experiments.
Called it a mind witness or something.
You see the eye widen and he goes, no. And then it like zeroes in on you and goes, how do I know that you are not just tricking me? It seems that you are tricking me. I do not trust you, Flute. You have 2 names.
You have 6 names.
No, it is one long name.
All right. Fair enough. I'm telling you the truth, and we're heading there right now to check it out.
Are you going to defeat this abomination for me? Because it seems to me that they have hoisted up a manifestation of me to taunt me. That is what it seems, that they are corrupting a beholder.
That's how it seemed to me too. Maybe you could lend a few swords to the cause.
You will not trick me. I have already undergone orders from the rest of your crew to, where we will rendezvous at the Teaser Saloon after I take it over for them.
All right. Well, I just thought maybe you could delegate a small force to come assist.
Are you asking me to delegate a small force to come assist you?
Only if that's within your power. I'm not trying to stretch you too thin.
Look at my face. And the eye widens and it goes, everything is within my power.
I don't know. It sounds
Okay.
like you're spread it a little thin right now.
I am all-encompassing. I am in your unconscious right now, and you think I am spread thin? I am dancing around in your dreams for fun,
Well,
to taunt you about how I don't trust you, and you think I am spread thin. This is my pleasure time. I am relaxing currently by taunting you in your dreams.
at least that's makes one of us. Well, if you can't spare anyone to help destroy this mockery of you, then we'll just try to do it ourselves.
Don't
I hope
worry.
we can pull it
I
off.
mean, I know that because you are a piece of me, and I love you, and you are mine. I know that you will succeed. But since you, Flute Whimteaser, or also known as the Windrider, I will two names. See, but you're not Flute Whimteaser the Windrider, or Flute the Windrider Whimteaser. No. It kind of like the eye shakes itself. And it's like it got off track, and it's like because you asked me, I will send a delegation of mine to rendezvous with you all at the palace of the Goblin King to help you overtake the mind flayers who are occupying the space.
And if we destroy this horror, we'll bring it to you.
Yes, I will consume it to show my power. Bring it to me dead.
All right. You got it. You got it.
Thank you. And then maybe, if you are deemed trustworthy, I will think about not consuming you. But currently, I wish to consume you. In the far future, because right now I'm enjoying working with you and your friends. But just know it's on my list of things I would like to do eventually.
All right.
But that could be
I'm
changed. My
just
mind
telling
could be
you,
changed. I'm
there's
very
a-
forgiving.
I think there's a line. I think you probably have to get me out of the dragon's belly if you want to eat me.
What? Oh, because you think slow death is going to eat you?
I'm just,
Yes. I hear there is a list of people you have betrayed. And he says, well, I'm done taunting you. for
great.
this
I need to
evening."
get back to sleep anyway.
Oh, no, you're not going to.
Can you put the
And-
roof back on the house? No?
Oh, yes, of course I can. But so can you. This is your dream.
Right,
And
right.
the eye kind of just like fades away. And you do not get the benefits of the long rest.
Oh
Piece
no!
of
What a
shit.
dick!
He
EOS.
specifically said. Oh, I guess
Ah.
that didn't apply to you. Because he's being tricky.
Because I was a jerk to her.
He's a tricker. Yeah, that could have been it.
A trickster.
He also did warn us that he didn't care for you, and we should have
Totally.
kept
Yeah,
you under
we
the amulet.
forgot to tell you that
and
Powerface is
made
mad at you.
But we needed
Sorry.
to contact him.
That's all right.
Sorry.
That's
I did what
fine.
I wanted to do, make him angry about the dragon, so.
Yeah, no, that was good. That was great.
Not that this matters too much, but just because it's in the spell, you also take 8 points of psychic damage.
Oh,
Ah.
Take that.
get it!
Now he's gone too far.
8.
And you all wake up in the morning to the sounds of crats chirping
Oh,
all around you.
nice.
It's like a as they like raise their claws up to the air in the morning. I've really built out the ecology of crats here.
The more
It's a vast
quasars.
ecosystem on Garden.
Yeah, you see these crab rats that you have previously encountered. It was the first creature that Moonboy changed into, and they turned out to be spies for slow death in the back here. And they, you can hear them chirping like songbirds, but much more visceral. And yeah, you all awake on your new ship and kind of like all come out to the deck, and the unseated servants have set up a nice day table, you know, like at a fancy hotel when you come out and there's just like a table of pastries and such.
Like a good
Sorry,
hotel.
Kai, I don't mean to take liberties with your...
Oh, no, I love it.
I figure that
wonderful.
since I don't have any NPCs anymore, that I can kind of take some liberties with the unseen servants.
I mean,
Sure.
nothing weird.
Says the one watching people sleep.
I'm not watching.
Yeah, I
I
think
wasn't watching him sleep. I was watching him make changes to his bedroom.
Fair.
I get up totally exhausted, and then I get dressed like a 12-year-old in a YMCA locker room, like a lot of towel around, pants down.
I also wasn't even connected to the helm, so I guess I was just like still in the room. They hadn't said goodnight yet. Yeah. Should I leave?
Then I'll shamble up to breakfast, exhausted with one phase of exhaustion.
Yeah, that's not great.
I had a visit from Powerface last night. And he
Oh.
Jesus, you look
did
like
not
hell.
let me sleep.
Oh, we forgot to tell you that he's angry that you missed our meeting.
We told him you were
I was in the bathroom.
but
We told him you were in the bathroom, but he wouldn't.
He doesn't.
I don't think
understand
beholders have bathroom.
yes, I think he's got sort of a mind disposal situation.
Yeah.
Well, he's sending a force to meet us to try to retake the
Oh, that's
palace of the
good.
Skull Goblin King.
Okay.
And he said he may or may not eat me at a later date.
He always says that.
At least he's
Did he
delaying
say-
it.
Did he say the stuff about how he loves you and you're his body?
No, he seemed to hate me and said I was going to betray everyone and that I'm a deceitful person.
We can't possibly know this because we weren't there, but I think he did actually say that.
Yeah, no,
to
he
you
did.
At one point.
I know because I was watching you. I'm in your dreams. I'm hardwired into your dreams now. It's in the service agreement that you signed when you logged into the app.
To the
Did he say that he
Wi-Fi.
loved me and I was part of his body?
Yes. He
He
says
did
that
say,
to
"I love you
everyone.
and you are mine." Yeah, it was a thing that was said a lot to them
Yeah, no,
in
he-
their last conversation. So they, as players, noticed it because he said it a lot.
Completely, it
Yeah.
skated right by me.
He only said it one time to you, and he said it maybe five
You
or
should
six
notice
times.
when people say things like that to you.
Yeah, I guess.
It's
Wow.
a huge red flag.
Great.
Well, we'll have to get the amulet back on you.
Yeah, what an asshole.
Well, it's we knew that about it. Here, have a biscuit. And she kind of zips one across the room at him, less to more at.
Let me do an acrobatics check to catch it.
Yeah.
6? Not happening.
Yeah,
Biscuit.
Oh, it's-
and the psionics of it too are just kind of like the Klik floating. It just kind of like keeps smashing against your face a little bit.
Those biscuits are so flaky, there's no way it could hold up to that kind of continued abuse. So that thing's disintegrating.
What cured this last time? Would it didn't?
Resto.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a restoration.
Moonboy fixed me.
Moonboy, I don't suppose you could grab one of those plants and fix me, could you?
I could sure give it a try.
Last time I was able to cast Greater Resto, right?
But you also have experienced this enough now to know that the thing that you last time when you all were trying to solve this problem, you were trying to solve it like quickly, and you know that he's just interrupting you from sleeping. So especially because you have the amulet too, if you were to just sleep with the amulet on next time, you would be fine.
Right.
'Cause
I will give.
It's literally just being exhausted here.
I will give Windrider the amulet and be like,
Here you go, big fella. Dream yourself somewhere nice.
All right. I'll
So-
go back to bed. This is what happened last time
Night,
too.
night.
You don't have to go to sleep right now. You could spend today in a state of exhaustion, and then sleep.
Yeah, that
but
seems
you
like a
don't
bad.
have to.
That seems like a bad idea.
We can get you some coffee. We could get some all coffee.
If you cast
coffee.
Lesser Restoration on him, then it will cure his exhaustion. That
Oh,
is true.
that's
You also know that too,
there we go. Lesser
it would be
resto.
Greater
That's
Resto.
right? Because that cures a level of
Greater Restoration does, yes.
yeah.
I think
I'll look it up later.
doesn't
but
lesser cure anyways.
I'll check.
yeah, I think Lesser does, but we can look it up in a second. One way or another, you're gonna have to travel there, so you can either
It does
Yeah.
not.
yeah, and if you want the ship to help you fight, I assume you all are kind of like going to approach the Skull Goblin the Palace of the Skull Goblin King, like, it maybe do some reconnaissance. I think that was what was implied out of there, and then you're
think
also
that is the
waiting for
plan.
the ship of the Power Face's help to show up as well.
Nope, we're going straight in. Knocking on the front door.
So real quick, Moonboy, are you casting Lesser Restoration on him?
Yes. It's
Cool.
greater
Okay.
restoration. Lesser restoration does not remove exhaustion.
Okay, cool. Boom. So you've done that. And do you all call it like in this marshy area that's like farther underground? The Palace of the Skull Goblin King is very like this like red rock, almost like deserty vibes. But the lair area of the core of garden that you are in right now is much more like wet and damp pieces of it. And so do you all came through here, you came through a door that like a big gate that was open to you to enter Slow Death's lair, and so you could either try and find another way to circuitously approach the lair of the Skull Goblin King to observe what's happening there, or you can go to where the door, you would know the door was, and see if you can enter that way.
What do we think?
The door goes pretty much into the thick of things, right? It's like
That's
right
correct.
there. Yeah.
It's guarded by them. Yeah.
And
Would
how
I
long-
know another route, having some knowledge of garden?
Ooh, that's a great question. You should roll a history check for that.
Let's
That's a
do
very
it.
good question.
Let's do it. Nice. 22.
All right. Oh, with a 22, absolutely. Yeah, you have you not only traveled out of this space, but you also just are familiar enough with how the pieces of in and around Jadorian connect with each other, that it would you could approach it by going through some of the wilderness around it, because again, garden is this like planet that is tree roots going out basically, and so if you wanted to, you would be entering sort of where you entered the Palace of the Skull Goblin King, but you would be going up and out and around because this is all an orb. So it's the long way. You know, it would take a day or two to kind of go up and around, but you can. Yeah.
Okay.
It
I
is
know a way
the-
that
it
would
is-
get us there. It's
It is. You would be taking a shortcut through what is called the Wild Wildlands.
yes.
Right. I vaguely remember those.
Yeah. So we can go back through the door and be sort of get no chance to look at this place from the outside, or we can take a longer trek around through the wild lands. For what it's worth, I think taking our time here is not a bad thing, considering there is a hopefully a helpful force descending from
Sure.
Power Face.
Might not be a bad idea.
Not a terrible idea.
You're doubled up, Jordan.
Oops.
Cool. So this the Stella Luna, the ship is kind of like lifting up off the ground here and heading toward, kind of like cutting through this jungle terrain around you, following some of these cut out tunnels that seem to be crafted in some way by Slow Death herself, out into, as it kind of like loosens up the area around you and it turns less into tunnels and more into expanse. Yeah, as you all feel good about taking off this day into the world,
Yeah.
exiting the area of
Let's
the
go
lair
for
of
it.
Slow Death and heading out. Wonderful. Okay, cool. So this, as it kind of like pulls apart a little bit, because you all are heading into more open space. You know, terrain is transitioning from these tightly packed tunnels, and it's just unraveling a bit, and you can see these chunks of red rock amongst it as the terrain starts to overlap, but you still see these like large vine growths pushing up and out, and these like bits of large, it looks like a full tree almost, root that grows in and around, which you would recognize as the earth of garden, you know, like this, what the whole place is made up of these like huge tree roots, and that connect all of the different pieces. And as it starts to like break up and the tunnels are more open and expansive, you see caverns more as you fly through. You all are heading through the wilderness here, so I would love to have someone, whoever wants to, roll percentile dice for a random encounter.
Can we say that as we traveled, I took a short rest for an hour and I expended 2 hit dice and healed myself? Great.
As long as you did it in the hammock. That's
I mean,
Yes.
I mean,
So many
Aaron,
places for you to rest.
I put the
Aaron, you've got
amulet
the
on my
blessed
head.
die.
I do. Not so far today.
Oh, you do.
Yeah, you are piloting the ship, but I would say also maybe someone who would be kind of like looking out could also.
Well, I'd be
someone who
navigating.
Sure.
So, K.A.I or Klik, whichever one of you want to roll percentile dice, you all are just rolling what you come across here.
I mean,
Somebody
last time I
do
rolled
it.
percentile dice, I rolled like a 4, so it can't get
Yeah.
any worse.
It's true.
Or better.
53.
Ooh,
53.
Right down
Right
the
in
middle.
the middle here.
right
Yeah.
down the middle.
Right down the middle
53
here.
not alloy.
We just have to stop at the DMV? Is
There's a
that?
traffic jam.
Yeah. Traffic jam.
Jam. Cool. So yeah, as the ship is floating through this cavern, it kind of like comes out, and you can see again this large flat of red rock that the viney growth is holding up, and kind of like creates this flat platform that the ship flies up and onto as it's going slowly here. You know, this isn't Spelljammer speed. It's just kind of you all floating through this space, and you see a cracked apart goblin crawler, this thing that you all came across before, another one of these, and you see a small goblin with a skull on his head that has 2 big horns coming off of it, waving his hands as he sees the ship, and he's just like, you can't hear him at all, but you can hear him yelling as soon as he sees the ship crest here at all, and he's like waving his arms.
I'll get on my walkie-talkie to Kai. Be like, there's some sort of survivor. He looks stranded.
Do you need me? Says the breeze traveler as you come across the walkie-talkie.
Windrider? Oh, he's
Who
not
is-
here
no.
because you. Only for emergencies, priest traveler.
I know you. It seems like you are in an emergency. I got the
Why would I be-
communication.
Why would I be telling you about what we're seeing?
I don't know, but I'm here to find out, and I'm here
Hank,
for
get
it
off
if
the
you need-
line.
Oh,
Get off the
okay.
line.
Any
Absolutely.
messages
Kai.
for you will be directed to you specifically.
As the breeze traveler, that's what you all come across here. I heard that Moonboy might have a cool nickname system, and I just want to be on the lookout for it if one of those applies to me.
Yours will be Breeze Traveler.
Okay, wonderful. It is very cool. I thought of it myself. Okay, goodbye.
Yeah.
Yes, I see him. Should we stop? He might
mean-
know something, or it could be an elaborate trap. Kai says excitedly.
I could scoop him up as we flew past and just like whip him onto the ship. If we didn't
could
want
do
to
that.
stop.
We could do that.
And if he knows anything about the defenses and what's going on in the city, we need to talk to him.
Sure. Should we drop him a line?
Hello. Okay, so I need to be within 30 feet, I believe, to have a conversation with him telepathically, but
Yeah, so right now the
Alright,
ship is about
checking,
160
checking.
feet away from him.
Yeah.
as it's kind of like floating forward, and you can just see him on this like cracked open, like the claws of it that are like used to cut through the vines in and around here, just seem to be like fallen to the side of it, and he's standing on top waving his arms. You're about 160 feet away right now.
I can send a message to him. It doesn't look like there's a length on the one on the Omnipotent engine, so I can send a message to him. It's like I'll say, hold tight, we're gonna pick you up.
You just see his tiny little goblin thumbs go straight up.
And as we approach the goblin, I will use. I assume it's not tiny. But it is a creature, small or one willing creature other than yourself, and I can see it. So once we get within 30 feet of him, I'm going to attempt to telekinetically move him onto the deck of the ship. So I'm just gonna reach down with psionic energy and just pluck him, scoop him up like a field mouse.
Wonderful.
Bop him on the head.
So the ship moves over within 60 feet of him, and as you prepare to do that, I would love for everyone to tell me what their passive perception is. This is a thing I've not used in a very long time.
14.
Let me look. 12.
18.
Ooh.
We have a winner.
All right, Moonboy. As the ship kind of like floats over, you see Klik at the bow of it, ready to psionically boop him up towards you. And right in the first round here, you are going to get to boop him as your action here. But as you float over, Moonboy, you see out of the wall, like kind of like right next to where this large rock is, you see this huge form shift, and it's this green color that is exactly the same color as the wall, and you see two tentacles come off the side of it and a big mouth open, and you recognize it immediately because you have seen a dead one of these that has been beheaded, that is known as a frog-hemoth.
Yikes. Okay, and it should be noted that the Moonboy is asleep in his chambers when this happens, so he's having a portentous dream.
Oh no.
Why are you asleep?
Why are you asleep?
Aren't I?
No.
No,
No, it
everyone's
was
awake.
like the next day.
My bad. You're
This is the
right.
next day.
You're
Okay.
totally right.
Well,
You could be napping.
No, I see it. Never mind. Right, gone.
Well, I do like the idea of you snoozing and waking up and seeing this. And
Frog-hemoth.
like, yeah.
Frog-hemoth.
So yeah, I think we're gonna call it there because I don't want to start
Okay.
combat this late, but we will pick it up
Oh man.
here with
Call it.
the crew versus the frog-hemoth.
Call it with me forgetting I'm not sleeping in my bed.
Happens to me all the time.
Yeah,
Hell yeah. All right.
but good
I
I
job.
like the
Yeah,
idea
man.
of us, we're flying up to this goblin, we're
Love
about
it.
to yoink him, and then you smash cut to
Frog.
Moonboy in his barrel, and he just frog-hemoth.
Frog-hemoth!
Sorry. Then frog.
Yeah,
I kind of like that, too.
and that's
I
the
love it.
cliffhanger.
Yeah,
Bam.
totally.
Hell yeah.
Jordan, next week would you be willing to draw a frog-hemoth for us?
Absolutely.
I
I've
think it
been
would be fun and cool.
itching to draw a Frog-hemoth. Frog-hemoth.
Yeah. Knock 'em off.
Which is how I say it. They have many eyes, right?
No, they just have two big ones.
Really?
Is it
Yeah.
just a big frog?
It's just
I'm
a
going to
huge frog
Google
with
it right
tentacles that can
With
grab
tentacle
things
arms.
and put it in its mouth.
You're thinking
and
of a
swallow them.
fly-hemoth.
Frog-hemoth sounds like a really cool, like, grungy punk band.
Yeah. Well, cool. That's it.
Oh, yeah, God.
Man, I
Look
feel
at
like
this
you
thing. Oh, they
all
have three
really, no pun intended, directed the ship here. Like, I feel like
Oh,
my DM brain's like, all right, I know what you all are doing. Let's go. So
Yeah, we really needed
nice.
to
Yeah.
figure
we'll
out
sort
what
of
was
have a
happening.
plan now.
Oh,
I mean,
frog-hemoths are worse than I imagined. Okay.
I feel like you all took your time to not just pick the thing in front of you. You know, like it felt not meticulous.
We sort of had a plan, and then we were like, let's do the other thing.
Kind
Which
of altered
I
it,
think
yeah.
is the right move.
Agreed.
Yeah, we gotta get the dinger.
I think. Oh yeah, for sure.
Gotta get it.
Yeah.
This is
So-
the best way to get the dinger, as far as I'm
Good,
concerned.
good. As far as we know. As far as we know.
Trying to get a hold of the honeycomb of Florial doors. Who knows what is behind them? You all might find out if you don't die to mind flayers. Okay.
Or from
Good
penis.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sleep well, kids. And remember, don't die to mind flayers.
Yeah.
In your sleep or while you're awake.
Also, don't pick up hitchhikers. I know we just did that, but don't do that
That's
either.
why you don't. There could be a
Do it with
punishment
your
in the
mind.
bushes.
Even little cute ones with like funny hats. Don't take them. No hitchhikers. Jeez.
Yeah. Well,
Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel or join our Patreon. Check out our spring. We've got some cool stuff on there, and are always coming up with new dumb merch to put on the site. There's some cool perks to being a patron. You get to, one of the tiers is that you get to just play in a game in our world, and it affects the game.
Hell yeah.
That's run
This
by both
Sunday.
Harlan and Andrew. It's happening this Sunday. So
This Sunday there's repos and leads. Ooh.
get in
Better
there,
believe it.
play in the Repos and Leads game. It is super fun, and get the space bitch. Yeah, we'll put together some type for
Thirsty
the
space
space bitch mug. Excuse me,
and Bug. We're also going to sell you
and Bug.
bugs.
We're
Yeah.
gonna swing by our merch store to pick up signed bugs.
We'll mail
This
you
cat
a
has the
copy.
mega zoomies.
Whoa.
He's
Me
going
too.
"Rawr," and then taking off across the room.
My cat does that after she poops. I think she's running from her poop. Because sometimes there's poop that she kind of like takes off before she's done. So there's
Yeah.
like
God.
a trail of like zoomy poops.
Oh,
Hilarious.
Spooky poops. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's go out on that note. You know?
yeah.
Zoomy
Yeah.
poops.
Run from your poop, everyone. We'll see
Bye,
you later.
everybody.
Have a good
Bye.
week. See you next
We
week.
love you.
Stargazer, Moonboy, Klik, the Crusher, K.A.I, Humbly Chef, and the Windrider, Flute, Whimteaser. They're better than heroes. They'll never be zeros. Better than heroes.